Okay, y'all. Hey, hello. We are going to do a mukbang, whatever. First, it was supposed to be a bang because I was just going to do random snacks. But then I was like, shit. What if I need my snacks for later? So, sorry about the lighting. We don't really do dinner tables. I just realized that. And I didn't want to sit at the nail desk and shit. So, I ended up coming over here to the living room table. And the lighting between my phone and the light in here is just fucking stupid. So, we'll have to get this situation figured out. I think I'm going to just have to give me some lights. But, I did show a video of the meal. I'm going to insert it now. So, my bad, my TV's so loud, but this is the meal on the menu for the mukbang tonight. I think my clam is missing, but that's all right. You get the gist of it, so let's get into it. Yes, darling, so that is what we are eating tonight. Having us a little bit of seafood delight with some wine. I'm gonna just pour that in there. Okay, so this is Gallo Sweet Peach wine. So, real quick, before we get started, Grace. Heavenly Father, thank you for this meal that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies, Lord Jesus. Let it be safe, let it be healthy, Father God, full of nutrients and proteins, Lord Jesus. I say thank you in advance for the fulfillment, Lord Jesus. Thank you in advance and amen. Okay, so, quick mental check-in. My food kind of hot, so quick mental check-in. I left my lemon pepper. Fuck it. With everything going on, as some of y'all know, I go through depressions or whatever. And with all this shit going on outside, ooh, mama, heavy on the damn pepper. I don't know what kind of shit my mama put in here, but this shit is so spicy. I mean, though, because it's good. But, you know, seeing things, if I don't see something, it's not real. I don't watch the news because it's depressing. And my oblivion keeps me safe. So, last week I went to the store. I had not been to the grocery store since anything happened. Last time I went to a grocery store, it was a Saturday. So, I go in the grocery store, and I'm literally just going for a rotisserie chicken, but I ended up needing something else. And I'm walking down the aisle. There's no butter, there's no bread, there's no cheese, there's no condiments. There's no potatoes, there's no onions. I get around to the meat section, and they're bringing meat out, and there's people waiting in a line. And the man dropped one of the chicken packs in the rack. And these women swarmed it. And they started going back and forth bickering. And in that moment, it was kind of like, where the fuck have I been? When in the fuck did it get this bad? It's almost like being in jail and getting out 15 years later, the way that the world changed. It's like, how did you miss all of this? And it just put me in a crazy headspace. Then I had other stuff going on personally or whatever. As some of y'all know, Mike is working out of state. So he was getting ready and gearing up to leave. So it was that on top of all of this shit that's going on. And it takes me out of my creative. So I've been getting back to myself, but I just hadn't really felt creative. Like, I got a video. When I do put the video out, it's gonna be like, well, goddamn, they've been out of school. But I'm figuring out different ways to tweak it, because I would record pieces, then I would hate them. Then I'd be like, oh no, I like that. I'd go back and take them out the trash. I record something else, I'd hate it. So I'm just like, I'm not finna force the shit. God's plan for me is for me. It's already written. I just may take a little bit longer to get to it than I should, but it is what it is. I can't force the funny. Me being funny is just something that I've always done. So, If I gotta force it, I can't do it. Forcing translates. At least to me. I can tell, like, oh, that bitch really didn't want to do that video today. But she pushed through. You're a real trooper. I'm not finna fucking do it. So, by the grace of God, I was not one of the people that were laid off. It's kind of a bittersweet thing. Because while everybody else is upset about being laid off, I would have much rather to not have to go to work. And I have caught meningitis from other people. I've caught the flu from other people. And these are customers. These are not motherfuckers I'm in close proximity with for long periods of time. I'm getting sick from motherfuckers just walking in. Which is why I ended up getting into the call center business, because working in customer service, I stayed sick. Just interacting with the wrong people. So, I had the flu, shit, like most of y'all know, took me out in November. I'm not trying to be sick. And in my line of business, since we are considered essential, I'm worried about when desperation set in. Because the looks on them women's faces when they were arguing about that chicken, they look like two hurt mothers. That's like, I'm sorry I gotta do this, but bitch, my kids is at home. And I don't want to see that look of desperation on a person when money run out, resources dry up, shit like that. So, but anyway, I'm shaking back. Sometimes I just have to digress and not obsess over shit like I usually do, because I sat up and the only thing that would make me feel comfortable about going to work, you know, because people was like, oh, it's airborne and all this other shit. I'm not trying to get sick, but I'm not tripping. I take my vitamins, I take care of myself, I do all that other stuff. What's meant for me is for me. So, that's just that on that. I didn't want every video that I recorded to be about the coronavirus. I'm sick of it. I want my motherfucking life back. I'm ready for this shit to be over with. And that's just that on that. Now, but this video is long overdue. One of your cousins, one of my nieces, and I did ask her, get her permission to talk about it now. I'm not going to delve deep into her business, even though I was given permission, but I will speak on her situation along with one's experiences of my own. And what she was asking me about is, how do I feel about women welcoming men into their lives, to be into like a live-in relationship when they have daughters. All of this is my personal opinion based off either my own situation or things that I have seen. You are definitely entitled to your opinion. Don't shun me for mine, because you'll get shut the fuck up. Okay? So anyway, my mom was a single mother as of age 12 for me. My mom dated, yes. Have I ever met the men she dated? Every last one of them. But my mom one time moved a guy in, and there is no manual to how to be a fucking parent. And when she finally understood that that was one of the biggest mistakes, because when he came in, I kind of got shut out with my mom Because it's like, how in the fuck can you bring this other individual into our space? What the fuck is going on? And me and my mom were real verbal towards each other, so I could tell her when shit is bothering me and vice versa. And we lost that. And so I would tell, the guy would try and buy me stuff and, want to sit in my face and stuff like that. And I didn't like it. I didn't like him. And when I went and expressed to my mom, like, Mom, look, for real, I don't like him. I don't like him here. I don't know what it is about him, but it's something about him I don't like. That night, my mom expressed to him how I felt. And it ended up being this big ordeal. You know what I'm saying? Which led to, of course, him having to leave. Then we found out that he had a bunch of other shit going on in his life. Like other women, different things like that. So he had a lot of shit that he had going on anyway. So it was kind of like a saving grace, but I just knew I get along with everybody most of the time. So for me to off whim not like this man, my mom didn't question why. Like you have a bunch of women that say, oh, my kids are rebellious. They don't want me to be with nobody but their daddy. They don't like nobody. A child don't have no reason to lie. Sometimes you do have motherfuckers that just want you all to themselves, and I get it. Me personally, one thing my mom never did after that situation was move another man in. My stepfather did not move into my mother's home. Or no, they didn't get a place together until I moved out. My stepfather and my mom dated from my 7th grade year, until they got married after I graduated. And, it was a pretty cool thing because a lot of my friends, their parents would be messing with dudes and shit, wouldn't give a fuck about what you say. Oh, mama, I don't like him. Oh, well, go your ass in your room. He not here for you. You know what I'm saying? And to have a mother to actually consider my feelings in that aspect, it was cool. But in my personal opinion, I could only do or say I would do what my mom did. Because I wouldn't want to have a man around my daughter as a single mother for several reasons. A, if her dad just was not in the picture, I understand that. And if this man had been there since your daughter was born or whatever is whatever. I personally don't believe in men having to chastise little girls. Now, of course, if it go there, because some of these little motherfuckers can be outrageous. But that's a father-daughter situation. I still don't believe it's right for a man to put his hands on a child. A, because they start to psychologically think that shit alright. Or if you do, create a boundary between beating your ass and I want you to understand that I'm whooping your ass for a reason. So, and a lot of times women, by the time they meet a man, they vulnerable. They've either been single for a long time, so all it takes is some cool conversation. A lot of times, women who either have multiple kids or been single for a while, your self-esteem starts to dwindle. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Oh, no, I love myself and I do this for myself. I buy this for myself. Your self-esteem starts to dwindle after a while because all you feel like is somebody's mother. That's it. I go to work because I'm somebody's mother. When I get off, I got to turn on everything else because I'm somebody's mother. It just never stops because I'm somebody's mother. Certain days, birthdays, Mother's Day is a good thing. But sometimes you just want peace. And people feel like, oh, well, having him here, you know, I have a break, I can get peace and this, that, and the third. And you're not considering the child. It's a selfish act. Oh, well, I'm the adult. My child don't run my motherfucking house. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that child is making you who you are. So consider what they saying. If you the type that like a lot of different men, every man should not earn the privilege to be near your child. You know, if it's a situation where y'all are so in love and this, that, and the third, love can absolutely wait. You don't have to be under the same roof to prove how much you love a person, you know. What's meant for you is for you. And I couldn't personally see me inviting another man around my daughters like that until they old enough to know anything, you come to me. Anything. You know, a lot of times people put the disciplinarian off on the stepdad. Oh, well, go in there and discipline your kids. Now, little boys, for me, it's a different way. Because I like to see the bond. Not a bond that I have to create by forcing them into a room together. Not a bond that I have to create by forcing them to do activities together, but a literal bond to where my son wants to go talk to this man. He wants to confide in this man. You know, my son wants to take rides with this man and do this and do that. That's different. Your child changes when they don't like somebody or when they don't like something. When the atmosphere don't feel right to them, your child changes. And most of the times it's for the worse. You know, and your cousin that hit me up, you know, when she was kind of getting into her story about like her stepdad not wanting her to go anywhere. The first thing that popped in my mind was how long did it take before he tried to molest her? When they're possessive, oh, I just love her so much like she my own child. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Us as women, some of us get so vulnerable and have let ourselves go so much, we give total control and power to this man. Because I want him to feel like he's the king of this house. And that is true. But at the end of the day, there has to be a mutual respect. As far as my child goes, that's, you know what I'm saying? It can be discussed between me and you, but you feeling okay to tell me, oh, no. Unless that's something that we've sat down, because personally, the way I felt about my stepfather, my mama didn't force nothing on us. And I would say like, you know, hey, Dizzle, let's go here. Let's go have breakfast. Let's go have lunch. I wanted to engage and be around this person because he's never made me feel scared. He's never made me feel bad. He's never made me feel sad. He's never put me in harm's way. So I want to know more about this person. Now, true enough, it took for me to turn 19, 20. But when I got it, I got it. Time is the only thing that can do anything with that. But stop forcing these men into positions they're not ready for. They're not even built for. If a man can't take care of his motherfucking self, stop forcing him into being a disciplinarian or a fixing man for your family. You know what I'm saying? He's sleeping on somebody else's couch and you, oh, come on in. By the way, here's your kids. That's not how that should go. First of all, I don't believe a man should be in the space with your children if you and the father are still in contact and they haven't sat down and at least gotten to know each other. Now, that's who attitude you don't really consider when worrying about if you should or shouldn't be with a motherfucker because of who do and don't like him. Your baby daddy, that ain't none of your problem. Oh, you don't like him? Oh, okay, that's cool too. But you and your children are basically glorified roommates. you have to respect the code too. You know what I'm saying? Or be motherfucking single till they move out. You ain't got to be single. But you don't have to have every Tom, Dick, and Harry around your fucking children. Everybody is not worthy to be around your children, and everybody is not worthy to handle a father title. If you are dealing with a man, ladies, and you've never seen this man's kids, chances are, if he always has an excuse, he always has a story, he always has a reason why those kids are never around, but he wants to play daddy to yours, you have to do some inventory. There may be something that he's not at fault for, but then again, there may be. And a person's only going to tell you their side of the story. That's it. You need to do a little bit more investigating before you start allowing a motherfucker to bring suitcases over your threshold. And if a motherfucker can't accept and respect your time and space that's needed, it's a reason for that. Them babies will save your life sometimes. But look for signs. Observe the room. Make sure that you're aware of everything. The man want to get left at the house alone with your daughter all the time. Hell no. If her grades and her attendance and shit start slipping at school, and most of the time she's at home. Hell no. If she was this happy, bubbly, outgoing kid, and then now all of a sudden she's a stew pigeon that likes to sit in her room all day wearing black and shit. Hell no. And it ain't always, oh, it's bullying going on at that school. It ain't always that. Sometimes you will pull that dark cloud into your own house and don't even realize it. You will pack that dark cloud into a motherfucking suitcase, drag it through your door, and let that motherfucker implode inside of your house. And don't even know it. Don't let love be so blind for another human being over your own flesh and blood. Especially nowadays. A lot of these men ain't right. Ain't right at all. Not by a long motherfucking shot. So you have to do inventory, background checks, blood checks, saliva checks. You have to check every motherfucking thing with niggas, well, with people in general nowadays. I know a few years ago there was a lady that was working at the Bellagio, and the lady was involved with a man that was married. She wanted the man to leave his wife. The man was going to leave his wife when he got ready to, but he wasn't going to leave her right now. So the lady befriended his little girl, asked him, well, can I meet your daughter? He lets her meet her. And one day the girl goes and picks up their little girl from school. Now that the little girl knows this lady, it's okay to get in the car with her. She puts her in the car. She tells her she gonna go take her shopping. She tells her daddy, I'm gonna take her shopping, blah, 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 then I'll bring her to you. Hours go by. Day turns to night. Night turns to a new day. My baby still ain't made it home. The girl calls the next morning when this child is expected to be at her father's house so she can go to school the next day. You either leave your wife or you'll never see this little girl again. And the man complied. I'll leave her, I'll leave her, I'll leave her. Just give me my baby back. That woman stabbed that child 12 times and buried her. Because she knew he was not leaving his wife. But too much trust. You wouldn't have been able to go pick my child up from no motherfucking school, then call and tell me that you're taking her shopping. No. You a side bitch. You don't even have a secure spot on the goddamn bench. You're literally in here with towels and water. You're not going to call and tell me that you're taking my child a bitch ass place. You should have been on the case then, but because of trust. Oh, she good. Then you realize your baby never made it home. So, Men and women. You have these children, you have an obligation, you have a lifelong responsibility. Dating while with children is a lot harder now than it was a long time ago. Everybody's not trustworthy. Some of these motherfuckers are big, sick, nasty ass people. Guard your babies better. If you know your child and your child is mysteriously somebody you don't recognize, sometimes look at the change that you put them in before thinking that they the ones that always changed. Your children are not the possession of another person other than you. And at a certain age, they are no longer your goddamn possession. They are just your child. But you don't ever let another person parent to your child better than you or more than you. A man shouldn't be policing your daughter. He shouldn't be policing your son. Assisting and doing whatever they can, your spouse can, to make you the best person you can, to be the best parent for these children. That's their job. Chastising all that other shit, it's totally up to you. Me personally, you don't put your motherfucking hands on my child. I'm here. They have a father. It should always be a situation where there's mutual respect. But a lot of us don't have that for one another. The people we lay up and procreate with. So it's probably too soon to be talking about a third person. Well, my food gone. This wine getting to me. I don't feel like eating no motherfucking snacks. So I'm going to end it here. But again, I love y'all. If y'all got anything else you'd like me to talk about, or if you want to further this conversation, because I'm running out of time on my little thing, we can definitely do so. But guard these babies way better than we have been. The amount of fatalities due to neglect and, the boyfriend was doing this and the mother was allowing the boyfriend to do that. There should never be a time where you allow anybody else to harm or hurt your child. Whooping their ass, that's a teaching. Beating their ass is harm. It's a difference. Not only that, if the child's father is available, is there, you allow that child's father to be that child's father. And you allow the stepfather to be just that. A step in the goddamn right direction for his own motherfucking kid. Okay? I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Till next time, we're going to get the lighting situation fixed so this shit don't look like I'm telling scary stories and shit. But I'll see y'all later. Bye.